Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
Oh yeah, we live? Of course we're live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning and a very big good morning to those of you in the UK, or better yet from the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course good night for my DG Nation members that are somewhere else along this world. Wherever you are in this world, like I said, man, whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well and safe. Please make sure we're hitting the like button early doors. If you haven't subscribed, then you need to subscribe, man. This is verbal crack right here. You know, you're going to get addicted and them thing there. Second of all, thank you very much, people, for getting me to 39,000 subscribers. The road to 50K is alive and kicking, and we keep going. Better than that, people. Obviously, it's Monday. I hope you all attack this week aggressively and move that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And I'm wishing you lot the best in that regards. Obviously, I'm wishing you lot first things first. Absolute physical health. Without that, we can't do anything. Other than that, I hope you will make some major breakthroughs in your life, and I hope you will get financially free and all of the things that we all want out of life. So I hope you're doing well and safe. Obviously, you know, last things last, we'll save the best till last. Happy birthday, Mum. I know you're listening, and I hope you enjoyed your present and things like that, Mummy. So I hope you're well and safe. Could not have asked for a better mother ever, you know. Appreciate you, Mum. So I know you're listening. So yeah, I love you, Mum. Happy birthday and them thing there. So I'm out, man. So yeah, obviously, people, I've had a good start to the week as well. Shout out the Twitch gang. But I've actually clocked how you make moderators now. I think one true villain and someone else are my first true moderators, purely because you lot's using, you know, you lot deserve to be moderators because you're always on Twitch. But I just saw you lot's usernames right now. So yeah, you know, if you're on the Twitch gang and you've been supporting the thing, you know, please make sure you make me aware that you are on Twitch, or just comment right now. We'll begin the process of making you lot moderators and all of those sort of things. I hope you're doing well and safe. Like I said, man, apologies for being late. Actually, with my niece, you know, I'm sorry. There's very few things more important than football, but my niece was here earlier, and yeah, man, she's a little baby, and it was very enjoyable, man. Like, so yeah, I got carried away trying to make baby smile and stuff. And the last time I did it, you know, it's happened a few times. I got two nieces, but you know, even my nephew when he was young, I'm pretty sure everyone that's ever held a kid or whatever, you've all had vomit down your front. And some of you, if you know, if you change your boy's diaper, boys, peak. My best verse of advice is make sure you point that pee down, car. That gun might get aimed in your face, and it gets a bit mad when you got pee there and whatnot. But you know me, shout all the kids and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I was late, people. Obviously, please make sure you're hitting the like button. No clue why there is 127 people within the opening 3 minutes. Nonetheless, I'm thankful. Now, I may do a live stream later today focused on transfers, but there wasn't much. Yeah, apparently Tammy Abraham's asking price has been dropped to 30 million. Reece Nelson links to Palace are resurfacing. Odegaard's on the back burner. So I didn't really think there was enough of significance. We'll be forcing it really, and we have forced it a lot. So I just thought, you know what, let me just come here, you know, and just go as we get into, you know, the season and whatnot. I think we need to start thinking on season mode. And I had some additional thoughts off the back of yesterday, people. If you give me a sec, actually trying to source them. What's going on? And then yeah, we'll get into them. Where is it though? Sorry, folks. Let me actually, because I started it initially on my Google Doc sheet on my phone. So what did I call it? Why wouldn't I even name it properly? People always make sure you're naming and labeling things, or you're gonna end up like me, where you ain't really got a clue what you're trying to find and them things there. By God's grace, I found it. No clue why it just says GG, but let me just change that to Arsenal Monday thoughts. So yeah, let me see what you guys are saying before we crack on. Now everything is situated and good and them things there. I'm sure you have a lot to say about yesterday. Get your opinions and them things therein. I know some of you are either worried or not worried, depending on what happens in the case of Thomas Partey. We did see him walking. I think he was, you know, doing something after training, after the game. You know, he wasn't in a protective boot or anything. So we're not over there yet. He'll have scans on his injury today, and he'll probably in the next 24 to 48 hours we'll learn more about that. Obviously, Granit Xhaka came on and scored, and it's written in the script. The man who looked nailed on going to Rome and things like that. His first game back at the Emirates, heads home. Well, I say heads home, puts it in the back of the net better yet. So yeah, man, I hope you're doing well and safe. We're gonna crack on with all of that earlier. I'm over the place. The man said later. Sorry about earlier. Earlier, I was actually writing these notes, and for me, it's just mainly my thoughts of not so much the game, because for me, I've always said it, like, for me, it's not just one game. It's not just Chelsea. It's not just Rangers. It's not just Millwall. It's not just Watford. Every game tells a story. We should look. I'm not saying a dramatically better side, but we should look a better side from that first game against Hibernian to Chelsea. Now, I know it weren't always the same squad and things, but you don't see evidently what we're trying to do. You do see a bit of pressing. I'd say it was a bit naive yesterday, because we're pressing, and we know if we get caught on the counter attack, we're playing high lines. We know we're playing a dangerous game. A major strength of that Chelsea team is the counter attack, So to know we're kind of being set up naively with the manager, and game management between the players is not good enough, it didn't help us. So for me, it's not just one game. It's not just pre-season, because the themes I'm getting from pre-season is, the manager's man management and game management is still in question, but the players are not street smart. Once they go onto the field, they've got to arrest this. And I'm seeing, Marie Chambers holding, and the midfielders, El Nene and less so much Partey. Nobody is taking authority. That's why Hakim Ziyech and etc. are exploiting us. That's why Marie is left in isolated 1v1 moments in a foot race against Werner. This is borderline suicidal. So a lot of these players are extremely naive and not learning and not able to address it. So for me, it's not just one game. We keep conceding cheap goals and making cheap mistakes. I can't keep sitting there and saying, if we cut this out, if we do that, where it's all true, but if some buts are not facts, facts are we're making them. Again, you can say it's just pre-season, but you saw the set piece goals we conceded in the 2 games against Rangers, in Scotland against Rangers and Hibernian. Can I be surprised if we in the league that sort of stuff happens? Can I be surprised if, forget the goal that they actually scored with Tammy and Havertz, which were very poor goals for us to concede, and we have to deal with it. It's the goals they didn't score. Chelsea should be kicking themselves and saying, we probably should have won this 4-5. So it's not sustainable. And the thing is, that game last night was a microcosm of last season, because there's games like that we've played and won, games like that we've obviously lost and drawn. And I think it's only when we lose that fans really want to have a genuine debate about where we're at, what's going right and what's going wrong. Because prior to this, you're called a negative nanny. I don't think people are exaggerating, but I do think that. And I think I've said that all pre-season. I don't think it's just pre-season. If you're up in arms, effing and blinding and carrying on purely off that result, I think that's doing too much. But if you've been like us on this channel, we've been, what have we learned from Hibernian? What's the positives and the negatives? Then the next game, this and that. Then the next game and the next game, etc., etc. Then I think it is concerning, because we're 2 weeks or so for the season starts. Forget transfers for a sec. We know that needs to happen. The playing squad, whatever way we try and shape it, coaching is a big part of it. And you can't say they're not Arteta's players anymore. I do think there's a lot of fishing out, but he's evidently, just to paint a picture with Xhaka, he's choosing to give Xhaka a new deal. And, Xhaka's 28. You need to give him a new deal. In fact, there's even 2 years left on his deal. And because of who he is at this club, probably could have let that run. No, fair play. You want his future sorted. You want to send out stability. You see him as a leader. That's your guy. Fair play. I don't know if you're trying to move on El Nene, but you're keeping him. There's alleged rumors. I know a lot of it is transfer stuff being coy, but you want to give Bellerin a new deal. These are your players. You're doubling down on these players. And as I always say, when you lot say we don't need a right back, defense isn't our problem, and you lot get these false images, when you play against the best, the wall gets pulled from, the wall, there's no wall covering your eyes. You see things for what they are. And yeah, it's only pre-season, but that's even concerning. If that's a Premier League game, I got to say champs, where Chelsea and Arsenal need to get 3 points, we're getting slaughtered. It's back to when Drogba used to play us and beat us up. So I don't think you should cry over the actual result. But as I said, every pre-season game, we have to be looking at what this team is shaping up. And I see inconsistencies within the spine of this team. There's too many questions, with the exception of defense, because Gabriel is injured. I don't know who's going to be our centre-half pivot. I don't know what we're doing at right back. Goalie Leno's there, but does he want to stay? Midfield needs addressing. By God's grace, Partey isn't injured, and Lokonga could be thrown in. But, Lokonga don't really. I know Xhaka's returned to training and stuff, but how tried and tested is that Lokonga and Xhaka partnership? And for me, I think he should, but I think he's going to revert to type. And you'll see if something has happened to Partey, Xhaka and El Nene together in the middle. There's a lot of things I want to kind of speak on, people, but yeah, man, let me make my first timestamp, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. 267 of you locked in. It is not only pre-season, what are we planning for? And for me, Arteta said he needs preseason. What have we been doing? Because I just see us playing a bunch of players that not got no future here. I can't evidently see what we're trying to improve. And like I said, I'm not expecting to be amazing in preseason. It doesn't work like that, you know. For years we have had poor problems. So how can I expect in a couple of weeks to improve? You know, greatly. But I wanted to see building blocks. Whether we win, lose, or draw, there's some negatives and positives to build upon in each and every game. And you know, with every game that passes, that negative is less so much of a negative. That positive is more of a positive, and we keep working and working and building. So it is what it is in that regards. You know, I don't think nobody, Claudius, big up yourself for first and foremost being a member, but I don't think anybody's over exaggerating. Of course, you get them they're mad ones where certain people are gonna, you know, it all really depends and it's subjective. You're gonna get them people that are overly cautious. You're gonna get them people that are overly panicking and like you said, probably overreacting. We live in that space. That's how fans carry on. Obviously, with social media and whatnot, you see it highlighted more. But I think if you're looking at it like us, with everything I've said and everything you lot are saying in the comments, I don't think anybody's exaggerating, really and truly. I just think personally, a lot of people like to be, it's not even overly positive. Like I said, I don't agree with being overly negative or overly positive, just dealing what's in front of me. If there's reasons to be negative or positive, then we take it. But I just feel a lot of people like to bury their heads in the sand. And then when we win these occasional games, there'll be false images. Like when we went on under Emre, that 20-odd unbeaten run. And a lot of you used to slaughter me on YouTube because I said, listen, this is not sustainable. We're winning games and there's positives, but we're doing little individual moments of brilliance. We're playing poor. The tactics are shaky. And, you know, everybody wants to shut up about it until it's crunch time. That's the problem. There's no healthy debate. And, you know, the ones that, you know, you can't really have healthy debate without being labeled having agendas and all these sort of things because the world we live in. I'm here, my guy. Chill, 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 chill. We've only made one improvement to our starting 11. It's looking techie. Big up DG and the DG Nation. Hope you're all good. Shout out to AM and all the moderators and members and subscribers and Twitch gang and the rest of it. Bright and early in America. Yesterday was fine as long as Partey's back. It's discouraging that we haven't brought in a centre mid. Our plan seems to be panic buy at the end of the window. I don't think, to be fair, I don't think our intention has been to panic buy. Whether there's been incompetence in the ability to bring in players and shift people on and the landscape has changed. Like, I don't know, are we going to go for a partner for Partey because Xhaka is here and they're giving him a new deal and he is Arteta's lieutenant? Are we going to double down on a 10? Personally, I don't think number 10's in, you know, they're a dying age in today's game. And I just think at Arsenal, when you've got a 10, you've got to double down on them, you know. Let's just use Ozil as an example. Whatever you say about him, you know, if you get him, first and foremost, the team needs to be spot on defensively because you're not going to get too much change out of him. Second of all, you need not just strikers that are good, but you need dynamic movement. You know, if you're playing 4-3-3, the other two in midfield have to be able to put in the shift. You need fullbacks making runs. You need serious movement. You also need them midfielders to be able to pass a ball forward because like you saw yesterday, Smith Rowe might have hit the post and he was in the game in patches. He's receiving it off the centre half because certain midfielders are just scared and it cripples the way we're playing. Or like you see, Leno goes long, we're going to lose the physical battle to Chelsea and it's going to keep going down and down. So we're all, you know, these problems are still there. I just think it's changed now. Xhaka apparently staying. We can't say it for true because, you know, until the window's shut, we're probably going to move away from that to a number 10. And I don't really think it's sustainable because you still need that man in the middle to be able to give them the ball, really and truly. And also, we're not going to double down on a 10. And also, obviously, the modern game, you can get away with an 8.5. I would welcome a 10 because we need more creative man and things like that. But we'll have to see what can happen. And also, on the topic of Xhaka and potentially a couple of others staying, I don't know if the club was betting on certain finances arriving because of their outgoings and that would allow us to do several things. I don't know. I just heard, you know, we need a pre-season, be excited, all of these things. And, you know, I'll shut up until the end of the window, but it looks very reactive and it looks quite concerning, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Partey's injury can be a blessing in disguise. I don't know how. But okay, I'll take your word for it, my dude. Big up you, regardless. Love for the positive words in relation to 39,000 subscribers. Sakayo Backer, I'm good, my guy. I'm good. You know, started the week well. You know, I've got every reason to be happy. My health is there. I've got you guys. What else can I think you on? I hope you're well as well, Sandro, and everybody else locked in as well. You know, shout out to you as well. Oh man, I appreciate all of you lot, man. I'm reserving judgment until the end of August. That's me, you know. I shut my mouth until the end of August. I can criticize and say it's looking shaky. We're not bringing people in. I'm concerned. But as I said at the start of this window, I'll shut my mouth until the end of August. If August now comes and I don't see a 10, I don't see an 8, for me, I don't see a right back. I'm still seeing nothing solved in relation to it. Looks like Xhaka is staying, but can we have some confirmation? Fair play. Arteta came out and more or less said he's staying. But then there's a bunch of other players that futures are speculated. And with us, it feels a bit volatile. Even though Maitland-Niles and Xhaka might stay, for example, you give it 5 or 6 months, then, man, they are being linked with moves again and again. And I'm personally tired of all of these things, man. You know, it really is. But it looks like certain lessons have to be learnt the hard way, and we ain't learned our lesson. So we're going to learn it again the hard way, really and truly. Leno is not our keeper if we want to play out from the back. To be fair, he can play out the back. I just think he's not the keeper because I don't really rate him like that. But I think you can get away with Leno in the team. I don't really think you need to force out Leno. For me, if Leno wants to bust out, that's where it's become a problem. Just like with allegedly Xhaka, just like with allegedly Bellerin. I don't begrudge you lot. You lot are not from England. You're not Arsenal fans. You're professional footballers. This is a job, and it's a wonderful job in that you get to explore the world and whatnot. So if a Spanish man has come to England and been here since 16, 17 years of age and is now 26 and he wants to try La Liga again or move to Italy, or, you know, a Swiss international's played in Germany, wants to try Italy, or whatever the German international or Leno wants to do, fair play. I don't begrudge them for it. My problem is actually with the club now, because you lot make these guys feel overly important. You guys do not show unwillingness to move on from them. You lot don't show proactiveness. It seems like we're reactive. Xhaka wants to stay now, so we can do something in the market. It's never, all right, Xhaka, you made your bed, you got to lie in it. Things can happen. Or Leno, you've lied in it. Bellerin, you've lied in it. Of course, there's a lot, like we said, it's until the end of August, a lot can happen, and the squad still needs trimming, but you get the point, man. 323 of you locked in, very appreciative. Please make sure we're subscribing on Twitch, we're hitting the like button, and we're doing the rest of it, people. Where are we at in terms of likes? We're at 120, we're at 124. It's not the best of starts, but it's not the worst of starts. Do you think Torreira will be part of the season? Think he'll make an impact? I love Torreira in relation to ability, but kind of like what I just spoke about, you have to question your commitment for one reason or another. He doesn't want to be at the club, so you have to keep it moving. The minimum we need is people that want to be here and want to help Arsenal realize their ambitions, man. There are definitely concerns. I have many, but some of the reactions are crazy. As you say, it comes with the landscape of fandom. Claudius is that, bro. You know, like I said, if you're, you know, looking at it with logic and balance and things, you're allowed that. Partey is done. Tried time to move him on. Myth. I preferred that preseason game more intense, and Bellerin highlighted he isn't a Premier League player in my opinion anymore. I think Bellerin can cut his mustard in the Premier League, but not here, man. It's just not serious, man. Right now, for me, the most important transfer is a 10. If Arsenal can't afford Odegaard or Brandt, we should go for someone like Sabitzer so he can add a goal and assist. He's in the final year of his deal. I mean, I can't lie, Sabitzer is not playing 10 for me, but I'm taking him in the squad. I offered my thoughts on Lokonga yesterday. I think Lokonga, when he came on, being at the ground, literally when he just came on, I know you got to shake the ring rust out of your game and get used to speed, but I think he was doing a lot of naive stuff. You know, he's getting caught near his area. He's looking to the ref. You know, you're told play to the whistle. I did feel Bellerin, I did feel he had a part to play in that pass that ultimately led to Bellerin, because I just feel, Lokonga will never pass it to him again. I think he truly saw some of his teammates' capabilities, and it's not his fault, but he was involved in that. Other than that, what do I need to say? Like you said, that pass he played was amazing, and forget the pass and the incidents, just the basis, the bravery to want to pass the ball forward. Now, I need to see you want to do that in the Premier League where, pre-season. As much as it's Chelsea in it, pre-season excuse is not relevant. But it's a bit different when we're in the Premier League, when if Chelsea win, they might do this. If we lose or win, something might be written or this and that. So there's a lot to be said. But I like his mentality. First game at the Emirates, my man wants to pass it forward consistently. And I think there's a lot to be worked on with Lokonga. But I think there's something that can be worked on there. These are the sort of guys I'm willing to persist with, when they're showing a bit of something. Certain players, it's like we've been showing it for years. Certain men have been here. Bro, a couple of them were here when we were actually in the Champions League. 2 of them were midfielders. So Boy, it's a bit of a madness. Big up DG. Any news on Martinelli's time at the Olympics? I didn't see his name on the Brazil squad sheet on Saturday. None of significance to me. I've just been going off them highlights. I'll stop watching them 90-minute Olympic games, to be fair. So you need to chat to someone who's just got a bit more knowledge, man. Nobody at this club has earned the right to have their position uncontested. Nobody should, even for me, the Sackers, the Tierney's, these man pick themselves. These lot know that they've always got to perform. That's why you never really see them drop in performance. I mean, Twitter's Twitter, innit? Twitter's Twitter. People want to make careers off being idiots, and positivity or balance doesn't sell in social media or in YouTube or Twitch or wherever. We live in a world where guys just want to carry on and just move mad. So we're never gonna get rationality from them. All I would say to you lot is stop going, if possible, stop going to these same what's the word, man? These outlets or these people or whatever, where you're gonna see nonsense, man. Use your Twitch primes on DG, people. Come on, people. Come on, Twitch gang. I love you guys. And obviously, if you don't want to get ads, subscribe on Twitch. AM, I see you there on the Twitch. So let me make you a moderator on this thing. Now that I know how to do it. Mod. There you go. I don't know if it shows you lot when you've become mods. I don't know if you lot have to click out and then come back. I don't know how it works, but we've done it, man. Twitch gang loves you, DG. Thanks for giving daily content. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate, on behalf of my mother, thank you very much, Raz and Footy Chats, for wishing her happy birthday. Appreciate that, man. I appreciate that as well, AM, man. Come on. Appreciate all of you lot, man. You lot, just stop cutting onions, man. This is why I love my community, man. My mum watches all my vids. Well, not all, but a lot. So it tells me stop swearing, love for that. Stop swearing, stop being angry. My mum is my worst critic. The man then watch my stuff and they just laugh. Like they'll have it in front of me, say, "Why you sound like that? You don't sound like that with her. You don't say that. Well, you're acting BG and that." It's all love, man. It's all love. They troll the hell out of me. Oh man. Good morning, DG. The result doesn't matter, but the performance does, and the individual mistakes still there. We lead. All I'm gonna say is I can't say anything else. You said it. If people can't take heed of that, then it's a myth, bro. Like if people can't take heed of that, this is why I said there's all for us. If preseason is so important, there's no such thing as it's only preseason. Arteta said it's vital. I'm not saying we have to, even if we won every preseason game, bare clean sheets, bare goals, shut up shop against Chelsea. We shouldn't be getting gassed off it. Same way, if we're losing, we shouldn't get overly upset about it because Bayern Munich are losing enough games as well. It's what we're seeing. It's how we're building. And now what I'm seeing is players are looking scared. Players are making the same mistakes. The mentality hasn't changed. The manager's tactics are a bit dodgy. But what scares me is these players are extremely naive. They don't know their teammates. Lokonga's going to know you can't play it to Bellerin in certain situations after that. But, if I'm a fullback, I know Marie isn't the quickest. Why are we? People are looking at him versus Werner and thinking, "Oh, it's all right." Even when Marie wasn't a thing anymore, why is Kolasinac left 1v1 against Tammy Abraham, who isn't a slouch? We're leaving people 1v1. We're naively losing it in areas you can't afford to lose it. As much as I criticize and praise Arteta where appropriate, some of these players at the end of their road, we can't be, if we're trying to be a Champions League club, we ain't got time to teach certain people these things. Square passes, looking up, not playing hospital passes, wanting to play it forward. There's a lot of things I don't feel you can teach in the squad. I don't doubt people are good guys, but it just feels like, and you need to be a good person, but how to make this make sense? It just feels like at Arsenal Football Club, the overriding factor is not, are you a good footballer or are you not? Because I'm sure away from a football field, people are not going to be managers of the retail department if they didn't feel there was actually a good manager of the retail department or of the food department, or if the groundsmen are nice guys, it's not going to mean anything if they can't cut up the Emirates and make it look amazing. So why is it there's so many things when you speak about several footballers, there's so many luxuries that are afforded other than, or not even that, before you get to the basic, are they a good footballer? It's, he's nice with the squad, he's this, he's that, he's the third. We've got to be cruel to be kind, and I think Arteta is going to learn a harsh lesson if he tries to carry certain players through this again, because it does feel like he's suffering prematurely from what I believe Wenger went through, in that you're not making the right. I feel for me, I said it before, when Wenger was kind of winding down at Arsenal, I think he struggled to make the right decisions for him and the right decisions for Arsenal. And I think Arteta is suffering with that because of the several things he done last year and because of the certain players he's putting faith in. They're going to let you down because they let themselves down. They're not doing it intentionally. They just don't know how to fight. They're not with this. Mentally, they're not with this. They need to be at a club where there's not really, well, you could say there's no ambition here, but there's not really any ambition or intent, or better yet, expectation. That's where them certain man need to be, man, in my humble opinion. It's more disappointing that we haven't been able, I think you mean to say, to sell anyone. We knew we wouldn't buy without selling. And since everyone knows our stance, they are playing a hard bargain game with Arsenal. Boy, shout out to you lot. Shout out to you lot. Interesting comments, man. In defense, we are looking mad. Up front, Aubameyang is looking mad. We're nowhere near ready, bro. Aubameyang, I love the guy, but he's got to start knocking them in because some of the misses are atrocious. He's not had much service. We're not creating chances, but the same token, his man are not finishing their dinner. It's absolutely crazy, man. So yeah, big up yourself. Shout out to the Twitch gang, man. Shout out to the Twitch gang. Would you want to? All right, 400 people locked. Please make sure you're hitting that like button. Where are we at for likes, man? We're at 174. So people are struggling, man. People are acting up. Would you want to see Willock play a role next season? He's not the list creativity, but definitely could offer something different. It all depends, man. Because for me, obviously, you're now seeing Xhaka stay. Partey is here. Lokonga's coming. You've got El Nene. So that's with Joe, that's 5. Is it good enough? I don't believe so, but that's potentially something there. So there is a role here, but there's only so many games. Like on paper, there's only 40 games, provided we don't go through. So for me, I'm open to all of it. But for me, Joe needs to ask himself, can I play 20, 30 starting appearances for Arsenal? I think that's going to be a tough ask. So he might need to do something in that regards. But I'm open to everything. I'm open to selling Joe, keeping Joe, letting him go permanently. I think there's something there in the lad. But we'll have to see, man. Tattoos was baffling. Why was the whole team pressed up the pitch, leaving 2v1 centre, man? I don't know who Tattoos is, but one love, man. Twitch gang is the best. Come on, come on. Appreciate that, South London's finest. Question, DG. Big up, DG. Question: why are we still stuck with Kolasinac, bro? Because you put him on high wages. Like we're trying to apparently get rid of his thingy, get rid of his contract, but he's higher wages. He's playing woeful. He went on loan and he didn't do much. So you struggled. It's another expensive free transfer. In the same way Mkhitaryan was, Ozil was, and I'm missing out someone. Willian was, only we can get things for free and somehow pay more. It's like we're signing up to free trials and we're signing up to things. They're telling us it's a free trial. We're not forgetting to cancel it. And now we're paying the price, isn't it? We're looking at our bank statement months later. We're like, oh, how comes Netflix is doing this and Love filmed that and whatnot? And for the pagans out there, because they're always spamming me, you lot are probably signing up to Viagra and them thing there. Cause I know your girls and baby mothers must be feeling a certain sort of way with the amount of rage the haters come and mash up my thing. But appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love, man. I'll say fake you on my mum's behalf, man. Nothing's gonna change for the better unless there's a significant change at ownership. Sobering truth, man. I'm afraid Arteta will mismanage Lokonga and tell him to start back passing more often instead of doing his passing forward. That's the problem with Arsenal, man. With Arsenal, players revert to or get infected. Gabriel came, Partey was good yesterday, but at some point you're gonna, you hang around with clowns, you're gonna become part of the circus. That's why they always say them sayings like, oh, what's that? You get them sayings like, show me your friends, I'll show you who you are. If you're around duds, you're gonna become a dud. In the same way, if you're around some serious guys and you're not a serious person, you're either going to get serious or say, nah, this ain't the place for me. But you never know. It looks like couple man are serious at Arsenal. Couple people are just so happy to be here. Couple young players are trying, but they need a lot more. Couple men are scapegoated. Certain people don't know what's going on. Certain people are cowards. Certain people are just shouldn't be here. It's a terrible cocktail, man. It's one that no one wants to buy, even if it's 2 for 1. It's a absolute Mazzolini in that regards, man. Really and truly. Boy, it is what it is, man. I don't think you're listening. I didn't say that it's not Bellerin's fault. Fundamentally, it is Bellerin's fault. But being at the ground and watching it, I do think he kind of gave Bellerin a pass that for someone with Bellerin's capabilities, he would struggle. And that's where my point is in that certain people need to learn their teammates, and Lokonga's learned that. And off that topic, once again, people are not clocking Marie is slow. Let's not allow him to get in a foot race with Werner. You know, Kolasinac is just a dodgy fella defensively. Let's not allow 2v1s. You know, 2v1s, 3 versus 2 are very reactive. I don't like reactive defending because it's not good. You lot that was sat there and telling me, oh, we don't need to improve defense and this and that. We bloody well do, man. Don't get gassed off finishing third for clean sheets because it was a false image. 100% a false image. You can see it. You can see this is not a good defensive side because their attitudes to defending is not certified, man. It's terrible. Like the whole attitude towards defending needs to change at this club. Everyone needs to stop being happy. And I'm talking about all aspects now, in fact, with doing the bare minimum. It's quite upsetting, man. And for Ben White, I feel sorry for him because immediately he's seen he's working with some duds. You know, that whole back line yesterday was absolute madness. Absolute madness, man. So true, DG. The mentality is the problem. Some of these joke men are affecting the squad, and we need to get rid of them. The mentality is the difference. You know, that's why I find it hard because anyone that's played football, you know, mentality is the difference. You know, obviously you need good players and things. And I'm not saying just because we have mentality, we're going to win the league as opposed to City and stuff. But that's why I have a hard time accepting purely because our squad is or isn't good enough. Just saying that we can't get top four because we're saying that. By that logic, no one should get frustrated when we lose these games. You know, and then actually the same people that say that they're calculating all season, can we get top four? For me, it's how you apply yourself over 38 games. You could have the Harlem Globetrotters from a footballing perspective. In game one, they're amazing. But the other 37 games, they're poor. Now, are they going to win the league? You know, and ability, they've got it, but you get it. That's why I have a problem. If our mentality was a bit more switched on, we was a bit more street smart and all of these things, I don't think we finish eighth, even with that team. I think we make more of a meal of top four. But the problem is there's no ifs, buts, can only deal with facts. And the mentality is not there consistently. And we did finish eighth. And, you know, I just hope it's some massive plot to make it look good on the Amazon doc, you know, losing these games, preseason muddled, fake injuries and that. You can probably imagine there's a next season we'll see, or whenever it comes out, Arteta stressed in his boardroom. Who knows? Madison and these men might be wheeled off and then we ride off into the sunset in May and we get top four. But that's a fantasy, you know. If you want to live a fairy tale, you know, have you ever heard happy ending? You know, not you bookie guys that go massage parlors. I'm talking about happy ending like in movies. Before that, it's normally tragedy or moments of adversity and things like that. And this is what these players have got to want to go through. They have to earn the right to get in the top four and achieve things. Achieving things is difficult. Working hard is difficult, or everyone being consistent is difficult, or everyone in the world would achieve their goals. There's no point being at it one week. You know, we're a very volatile team, you know. We could buck Chelsea in the league or City in the league and beat them, and then you're going to go and mess it up against Brentford the week after. No disrespect to any teams. I'm just reading it out. And as much as it's on Arteta, these players, I don't get the vibe that some of these players want to have legacies. Some of you forget Arsenal Football Club. What do you want people to say about you? Like, let's take El Nene. Yeah, I'm not saying anything about him. You know, he's not going to be an Arsenal legend and things. But what I mean by legacy is legacy in your own way. When you look back and tell your grandkids what you did, do you, you know, can you look back with pride of what you given at Arsenal at this moment in time? Not just playing for us, which is great, you know, leaving a little legacy. When we think of the Egyptian midfielders in the Premier League, we're thinking of El Nene. To get, you might not be world class or anything, but just setting a legacy in your own way. I'm not saying he isn't, because I get for me, El Nene's just not good enough. I think his mentality is spot on. I think he tries, you know, I think he's a bit scared to play passes and that, but I think he tries. He's just not good enough. But I'm using him as an example. I never get the vibe that people are trying to create legacy. I get it with Teeny. Teeny knows, you know, my mum and dad, they sacrificed a lot for me to be a footballer. So every game I go into, I'm representing all the Glaswegians and things like that, and as well as myself. You know, I get the vibe from Saka. My family did a lot. I'm not messing about. Smith Rowe now. And there's a couple of others of that same ilk. But the problem is, it's probably about 7 max. There's a 25-man squad. There's 38 games, 40 in the 2 cups if we don't go through. The maths isn't mathing now. I barely pass maths, but it sounds a bit negative from us perspective looking at them ones there. So make of that what you will. Healthy debate truly needed. Wait till the end of August. Understand, however, strong correlation can be drawn from many past seasons where we've looked panicky at the end and equally to the start of the season. And the worst thing is, yeah, I know transfers are easier said than done, but at the same time, the longer you leave it, the more other teams they're gonna have to either find replacements or they're gonna start playing hardball because, like you said, they know that we need to do things. Arsenal's turned into a retirement club now. It's too comfortable for players over there, bro. It kills me to hear you say that, man. But when I said that, I was thinking, bloody hell, man said love film, you know. Like I ain't seen them adverts for time. I just thought, what's next? What's next after Netflix? Should have said Amazon Prime. DG where they like, booze at the end of the game, not where I was sitting. In fact, there was, it was almost too happy, really and truly, man. And the thing is, big up Sandro. You need to be ruthless, and we aren't ruthless in anything. But for me, it's not even that. We need to be cruel to be kind now because we're being cruel to ourselves with trying to be kind. Sorry. Arsenal have to be cruel to be kind. And what I mean by that is I get the vibe, I get the vibe. It's a very knit bunch. Everybody's cool and stuff. And even Arteta, you're not being cruel to be kind. You're not helping yourself because I'm not saying Xhaka is all the problems. And Xhaka, I don't think he's as bad as people make out. I don't think he's as good as the Xhaka sexuals make out. But there is a use for him in the squad. Should we have an upgrade on him? Does his pros outweigh his cons? No, but he is the best of probably a bad bunch to a degree. What I mean by that is Xhaka looks to be signing a new deal. The way it's going, I'll tell you might be gone by Christmas. He will last it to you. So are you making the right decisions for Xhaka or are you? Do you think Xhaka at 28 years of age is good enough to give him that long-term deal so that you're going to utilize him in that regards? If you are, fair play, but be prepared to die on that sword. Not moving on LNA, not pressing the issue for a right back because a lot of, pre-season optimism is one thing and people can't pay for the sins of previous seasons, but it's like we forget everything that happened last season, walk into the next one and think things are going to change. Arteta needs to realize I can't just do this quest thing. You look at his former teammates like El Nene, he clearly wants to play him and do his thing, but he's going to cost you. And if it's not El Nene, it's Bellerin the next week, Watford and Chelsea. And it's not even just them two, it'd be others, because if it wasn't them, Lokonga could have made a mistake yesterday as much as I'm praising him. Smith Rowe got caught. Partey got caught. Let's be real. Even the good players were getting caught in stupid areas where it could have led to a goal. Holding from minute one was on some nonsense in that regards. So again, it's not a scapegoating thing. This is the issue. A lot of mistakes are being made and not being arrested. And suddenly, if Bellerin makes a mistake, El Nene makes a mistake, Leno switches off, Kolasinac plays a random game and switches off. That's about 4 or 5 mistakes. How many points is that costing you? And then you're going to sit here and may say, if we did this, but we did this and that happened. And you can't deal with none of that. That's not healthy. We have to be cruel to be kind. And Arteta isn't being cruel to the players, to be kind to the fans, kind to the players he does wholeheartedly believe in, and kind to himself because you're gonna have to. If Xhaka signs a deal, yeah, he scored and he's been good in the Euros. But if he moves shaky in the season, if El Nene moves shaky, if Bellerin moves shaky and the right back's not existed, you are gonna have to die on these swords. And as I would have thought, you would have learned from the whole Williams saga, where it was a bit of your ego continuously playing him. You can't save these guys. You need to have humility to know when things work and things don't. And sometimes you can't do everything in your image. But we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Either way, it makes for an interesting debate, people. Big up everybody locked in. What else are we seeing here? Scrolling all the way down. Sorry, people. Marie holding hella people just on BS, man. I wouldn't say our season's over, but yeah. Fusion, I can't lie, I don't see you forgive me if you're wrong. If the other Twitch guys can vouch for you, why not? But people I can evidently always see in the chat and whatnot, then they're the mods in it, like for live from Planet X. You're there, make you mod. When I see S and Tino and these sort of guys pop up, then they'll grab that as well. But I don't see you enough, my guy, man. Lobo TV, you're there. Oh gosh. I'm trying to one sec, people actually try to do this, but everything's scrolling fast. Lobo TV mod, there you go. Finally, Tristan, you're always here as well. Oh, you've gone. Real Gooner errors popped up. Mod. Tristan, where you gone? You might need to comment again. Your thing is gone, bro. I've lost it still. Hey, there's S. Let's make S. Oh, almost unmodded him. Ramping. Absolute ramping. What else is there? Alright, King is always here. Mod. Who knows? I told you, like, you lot are telling me to do that command thing. I knew there was a basic way of doing it there, man. So yeah, man, shout out to you lot. Live from Planet X, you are a mod. Maybe you have to come off and do this thing again and then whatever. But yeah. If you know you're here all the time, then I have no problem making you lot mods. It's when I know you, I don't see you. It's not even just me. If other mod, you know, because I always see it, and this is one thing I love about this community. I come in here a couple times and I'll see like AM and Sandro or Live from Planet X and Peter. They're all saying, well, go on to each other, and what are you saying in that? They're DG Nation veterans, so them man are the moderators and making sure it's patterned. I don't want to, you know, one of you trolls probably gonna ask for it and then move mad and whatnot, man. Come on, big up the new Twitch gang. All right, Tans, got to get you in there. You're always here. Can't find your name. It should have just, yeah, there you are. So that's another one to make moderators. Aye, the Twitch gang mods is thinking, man. It's getting fast, man. It's getting fast. Well, she lot saying, nah, man, King, I appreciate the fact that you lot support the thing. You know, why not make you lot who view my stuff moderators? Because you lot are likely to filter out the bullshit because you lot like what we've got here. I don't have no news on Balogun. Absolutely no point playing Kolasinac. Do you know what? I understand playing these one-away players because look at Chelsea. Bare of them man are going out on loan. Bare of them man they are getting, you know, loan FC, actual loans. You know, Loftus-Cheek's the only one I look at and think, yeah, you might get a look. You know, Manglasar might, but, you know, Manglasar, Zuma, half of these guys that played in the second half, they're probably going to move, even Tammy Abraham. And you back Chelsea to do stuff. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's hard to move players on. Look what Chelsea have. And they're right. It is difficult. But Chelsea's thing is different. They've put half of their man there. Their moves are probably sorted and they're just playing. I do understand playing people, you know, because you've got to manage people well. You can't overplay the ones you believe in if they get injured. And at the same time, you want your players that even if they want a ways to be in top physical condition so that a team that may want them has no excuse to say no to them. But at the same time, like I said, I don't understand it. I'd rather give opportunities to the players that, whether they're going to be first teamers, squad players or whatever, are gonna be here. Because Kolasinac, if he is here, then that tells you everything about what Arsenal's trying to do next season. You know, is he even the third choice left back in that team right now? Because Ini, Tavares, Saka's getting thrown there before you. Xhaka might even get thrown there before you. You know, Cedric might get thrown there before you. I don't know. I'm probably missing out one next thing that could have been done. Big up South Africa as well. Any news on Reece Nelson? Allegedly, it could be a Palace loan. Vieira wants him. DG, do you think we're going to have problems with the squad size this summer? Evidently, bro. 1 sec, I'm still here. I need to get my charger. Evidently, bro. Evidently, you're a smart guy, man. You know this. Because, sorry, I'm trying to making sure the light don't break and you lot don't think DG died. But evidently, because we've got a bloated squad on the best of days, broski. We've got a bloated squad on the best of days. It's only going to be bloated more with less games. It's a madness. And there's, from a business point of view, it just looks like bare outgoings unnecessarily and firm are mismanaged. As I said, we're not going to, you know, we're not going to get thingy. Like I said, we didn't get this squad in one window. We got this over years of mismanagement and all of these sort of things. So we're not going to pattern it all in one window. And I'm very wary of even saying significantly, but I would have liked at least the long-lasting. We all know the long-lasting names that Future's always speculated. At least see a couple, you know. And some of them that are linked with moves are not bad players. And for me, it looked like we were starting good. You know, Saliba, fair play. I wanted him to be a part of it, but he's gone out on loan early. Guendouzi's gone early. You know, I would have thought you know, Xhaka at the time, it was looking like Roma. Is a case of when, not if. Fair enough, things happen. But then you've still got Maitland-Niles, Joe Willock, Torreira, you know, a bunch of players. We haven't actually been told anything specific relating to Bellerin or Leno. So there's still a lot of speculation about people, whether they're leaving, going out on loan or whatever. And it's not healthy on the eve of, you know, the season starting. And I'm no idiot, of course. You know, we have the Euros going on, you've got the COVID market, we've got these guys on high wages. There's a lot of variables. I'm not saying it's easy, but that's why you lot are in the role, in it, because the average person can't do it. That's why you know, everyone thinks they can be a technical director, myself included. Edu, you are the technical director and your other teammen, so you lot have to make it. And you lot can go back to the streams we was doing in the months before. How many times did we all sit here and say, yo, they need to know who's being moved on. They can't just wake up in July and May and say this needs to happen. In the months prior to the season being done, you know what your squad's gonna make out. They said, you know, Arteta said we've been watching Ben White for a minute. You know, Ben White. So we knew we were moving for him. You might get people like Tavares, where it became clear we needed a signing, and you know, whatever the analytical team did, Tavares came to hand. You get moments like that, but the bulk of business is being planned, and I's are being dotted and T's are being crossed, because you know, you probably have to pitch to the owners why we should go for this guy and that guy and the third. And obviously, there's a lot of variables you need to be able to react. So, boy, it is what it is in that regards, really. I don't think it's, a man said, when you have a manager like Arteta, of course, the season will be tough, boy. Boy. What's your opinion on the Halem boys that haven't really gotten going? Reece Nelson, Eddie Maitland, Lionel Sell. Well, I think they'll all have good careers, man. They're still developing. You know, I would like Reece Nelson to go out on loan, but if he isn't going to sign a deal with his contract running down, you probably need to let him go. I would like Maitland to play right back and accept it, but, you know, probably just need to move him on. Eddie needs to go somewhere he can play 20, 30 starting games minimum, and I don't think it should be here. So, yeah, man, that's what needs to happen. Is there any comments on where Arteta allegedly said Odegaard can be signed if another player is offloaded? I need to see specifics, man. What up, Twitch family? DG, honestly, do you think there will be much movement this window? I hope so, because there needs to be, bro. I'm not saying 20 man come in and 20 man go, but there needs to be something of significance. And I found myself at the Emirates looking yesterday, and at a point I was trying to gaze over to Arteta. Obviously, you can't really, well, you can see Arteta, but you see the director's box. Well, not the director's box. You see how in the Emirates it's red seats, then it's like them darker red seats, and typically Edu, them sort of man are there, Ben. I was trying to look up there, and I was just, not to see anyone specifically, but I was just thinking, surely you man can't be watching this against the European champions. Yes, preseason, and think these men are good enough. This squad, these levels, we're ready for the season to start, because it's suicidal, really and truly. It's insanity, really. So I hope so, bro, but I don't know. And if we go off previous case studies, you know the answer, innit? Do you think Arteta is getting the best out of the players we have? Is the squad all that bad? I think two truths can live in the same realm, which most Arsenal fans fail to understand. Not saying you or anyone here, I just feel that that's the case. I think yes and no. I think some of these players are not good enough, but I just feel yes, clearly. Whatever you have to say about how woeful Aubameyang is and has been moving, or Willian, or Lacazette, or Pepe, or Martinelli, or Saka, there's teams that are probably finished above us that will cry out for some of them options. Not saying they're bad enough, they're good enough. It's like a kid, them little spoiled kids crying because their mum bought them a PS5 and a new Xbox. It's like we're ninth for attack. Whatever you say, Arsenal Football Club with them attackers and some in the league shouldn't be ninth. You know, we don't see a blueprint. Let's be real. The certain players are bad, but we should. And I think that's a luxury Arteta's got to hide behind. It's not his squad. We need recruitment. When the truths are the same, Arteta needs to be showing building blocks. Is it as simple as looking at that squad and saying, yo, you give Arteta some, really be real with yourselves. You sign him a right back, you sign him a midfielder, you sign him a striker, positions we've been linked with a goalie, and you see his plans, you know, come to place. On one hand, I think that's true. I think the handbrake of Arteta gets put down if he gets better players defensively all over the field. But on the other hand, it's not as simple as Arteta just gets other players and we improve. It's not. You can't honestly look at that and believe that. And if you do, fair enough. But I thought I was deluded. Respect everyone's opinions, of course. But yeah, it is what it is in that regard. So I do think you can get more out of them. But I do think the players can get more out of themselves as well. They're not demanding on themselves. I do think they want it a bit more. I don't quite think players don't care and all these things people say, but I just think that them and they just can't fight, man. They just can't fight. When times get tough, you gotta get going, and they're not on it. They're not on it, man. Have you seen the Grealish image? No, I haven't seen anything with Grealish. But I mean, it looks like Harry Kane's saying, "I'm not going back to training at Spurs," and all of these sort of things. What stand are you normally in, DG? I love the clock end, but wherever I can get tickets, man. Somebody's singing Sigurdsson songs, but we hear that man's bookie. We don't do that around here. DG, missed your point of view on AFC back after the game. Please go on when you can, bro. Robbie's got to throw the olive branch, bro. If Robbie don't tell man to jump on, how can I jump on, bro? I ain't standing there and whoring out myself, begging out for nothing. So, yeah, man. No, I never saw that, but I did see America got the Gold Cup, right? Stop caring about it when Jamaica went out, man. What do you think about? Sorry, Yoni. Apologies, I wasn't trying to bring that up. What do you think of Tammy Abraham talk after last night's performance? I think he'd be a great addition. Think about how many crosses we put in last season with nobody on the end of them. Paul, you know our club, bro. You know if you sign Tammy Abraham, suddenly there's no crosses. But when there's William through the middle, there's crosses. And also, for a big man, he can learn it. I don't think Tammy uses his size that well. I don't think he's good in terms of hold up play. I don't think he's that good in the air with his head, despite the fact that he's got a size on him. So I don't really think he'd finish his dinner really. But if you could work with him, why not? You'd get a tune out of it. You might get some sort of tune out of him in that regard. So yeah, man. Obviously, people, what's the timestamp? I want to go through some of my own comments and own thoughts because I kind of have, but I haven't. So I just woke up today in a bit of reflective mood, and I thought, let me again, good old Google sheet. Nothing spectacular in that regard. Again, check out my reviews of the game yesterday, and I've cut up some of the clips from yesterday's stream. I'll upload them in due course. I can't lie, I'm going gym after this, so you ain't going to see them for a while. If there's significant transfer stuff, we'll obviously do another live stream, so bear that in mind. For me, I don't know why I said this, but what I've learned about Arsenal in pre-season, people. Now, don't shoot the messenger. I can only comment on what I see. Individual mistakes are going to haunt us again. Bellerin versus Chelsea, or Nene versus Watford in recent weeks. I'm not saying you should attack them for them mistakes there and things, but they paint the picture. And as much as I don't think either player should be at Arsenal Football Club. Let's be real. These mistakes are ridden throughout the team. Even players we believe in are going to make mistakes. Yesterday, even certain players that are actually good, it's luck of the draw. Bellerin's unlucky, but there was a couple of incidences, certain players, Kolasinac could have been done dirty. Lokonga could have done himself dirty. Smith Rowe could have done himself dirty. Xhaka could have done himself dirty. Chambers, Rob Holding, I have to say it twice. Even Marie was doing some nonsense yesterday as well at times. Clearly, set pieces are still a problem. So for me, for everyone that wanted to waffle and just quite frankly, delude themselves that we are a good defensive side at this moment in time on the 2nd of August, 2021. You can laugh at the fact that you can laugh at my point and say we finished third for clean sheets. Cool. Individual mistakes, concentration, as I keep saying, and you'll have seen these streams, holding on to leads. Good fight to get back into the game. You've held on to the lead to an equalizer for a matter of, it felt like seconds in the game. I can't lie. Minutes, realistically, it felt like seconds. Obviously, the goals are one thing and the mistakes that did happen, but it's the chances we afforded that Chelsea did not take, and you couple that in with set pieces. We've Millwall, it wasn't a direct set piece. We couldn't clear our lines. Hibernian and Rangers, there were young goalies in goal. But again, senior players were not taking authority from these set pieces. Whether you're man marking or zonal marking, we have issues. I do think there's been elements of an improved pressing, but it's still very naive and it's very limited. It gets to the point where everybody's pressing, and there's, like you saw, I did think we tried to press Chelsea well, but the midfield was just too vacant, and it just comes down to the manager doing better there and street smartness. We still cannot create. Our midfielders are scared on the ball, not when Lokonga's there or Partey, and Partey still a bit shaky on the ball at times. Lokonga's still learning, but generally midfielders are too scared on the ball, and this is the catch-22. You've got Lokonga who's learning, Partey who's got no partner, and Xhaka who wants the ball but has a lot of problems versus people like El Nene that are scared to get onto the ball and stand purposely in position they're not going to get it. You know, Ben White alone can't save this defense, like you saw. You know, he probably what I can remember one glaring one, but there was about two, maybe three goal line clearances. I think he done, pardon me, done well with his passing, and he was good in the air. I think he was vocal, but he's gonna look as crap as the rest of them if we do not fix up in the whole attitudes towards defending from our front three. You know, and Arteta's what he demands defensively from the front three, because you demand a lot of playing out from the back from the goalie. What about our defending from the front? You know, there's a lot that needs to be done, and it can only be saved, in my opinion, through different personnel. But again, the coaching, Ben White alone can't save this in the same way Gabriel can't. You know, you might see Ben White go through what Gabriel did, you know, player of the month for 2 months in a row, playing well, but admittedly, it's gonna go down. Also, this does not look like a side that finished third for clean sheets. I'm sorry, maybe it's because I'm a fullback, but I'm sorry, like, you can't delude yourselves thinking this team is good defensively, because we're not. You know, we're very naive. We're not street smart. We're not following runners. We don't trust our teammates in possession, especially in a game like Chelsea. We don't recognize our teammates, because if I'm a fullback and I know my centre half struggles with pace and he's playing against someone that's quick, I'm either going to say, you drop off, let me get him, or you press, I'll cover, and we try to slow him down from there. I'm not seeing any of that. It looks as well like too many people. I can't lie. I like Marie. I think Marie's been good in preseason. But to highlight a point, Marie and Holding yesterday, being at the ground, it's like people are more concerned with other people's jobs than doing theirs. It's like a bunch of players are all saying, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, but you're not doing your own job. And you see that in Sunday League a lot, and it's not fair. You know, Smith Rowe needs help. Again, there's no point signing Smith Rowe to a new deal, giving him a 10 or signing a natural 10 if you cannot get the ball to him. I don't want to continuously see Smith Rowe dropping deep. And obviously, Smith Rowe likes to roam. If he likes to roam, I want to see what we used to have at Arsenal. Someone else takes that position and somebody else takes the position of the person who just vacated it. Interchanging movement, it needs to be muscle memory. But I have to admit, I don't think this is a requirement of Arteta, because we haven't seen anything like that. And for me, fun is sad, but I don't believe in anybody at this club. I don't believe in anybody apart from Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel, Ben White, Tini, you know, couple of them. And in defense, I only believe in these, man. I like Marie, but the lack of pace, and for me, he's putting with Marie, you shouldn't play him in situations you know it's going to be difficult. If you play him in a back three, you can get away with it. But he has a problem with pace. Even when we played Chelsea and we won at the Bridge, he struggled. He did well, but he struggled. He gave away a penalty as well, and it got brushed under the carpet. As I said at the start, I don't think players trust each other fully. I think Arteta needs to be cruel to some of his players. You know, he cannot help you. You know, not everybody can come on your journey. I know you want El Nene and Xhaka and all these guys. I'm just throwing names out there. Not everyone can help you. It's like if you get promoted from the Championship, everybody helps, but you can't keep everyone. You need to get people that are actually level. So we're going to learn a harsh lesson. And for everyone, it's not going to be nice from now to Christmas. If it looks iffy, you man are done out here, really and truly. It's not going to be nice. It's not going to be nice. But that's how I feel, people. They're just some thoughts I wanted to get off my chest, people. I think these are what, no, don't even know what to call that, man. Concerns me, man. Fuck it, let's call it that. Concerns me, because it really does. It really does. It really does. Hey, man. Bugging out so much. I didn't even put it in caps. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties, literally. Good old Google Docs. But yeah, moving away from that is where it is, man. To be fair with you, I hear you, and I'm not saying you're wrong, T, but I think people pick and choose that because Smith Rowe's not your guy. Lumber gave him his thing, and Emre was giving him his thing. You know, you palmed him off on loan. You only really wanted to use him in December. Fair enough. You've got a tune out of him. You know, Xhaka weren't your guy, but you're using him. You know, you had a couple of the Mustafis, these sort of guys, they were used. And then they weren't your guy. Mustafi weren't your guy. Chambers and Bellerin are not your signings. You know, I think people pick and choose when they want to do all of that. They're not his signings business. And then I just think you can't give and take in it. Why are the club letting in Chelsea fans last night? I can't see Tottenham doing that with our fans. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But small club doing small club stuff. I think Chelsea would have let us in. I don't know, man. You'd have to talk to the people who line up these things, man. But I rate Pepe, man. But Pepe's only going to be as good as what we can create and who's behind him, and all of these things are on top of everything else, man. Agreed, DG. I think Arteta has trouble being ruthless with players he deems as committed to the cause, even if they're clearly not good enough. Bro, just steady Eddies. Guys that button up their tie, no problems. They're guys. You know, you revert to type. Duds like duds. Basics like basic. Is there any surprise why Arteta likes it? And then he probably sees himself in him to a degree. But I don't care about Arsenal fans. We love false images. It's just like every fan was consoling the fact with, oh, since December we're second. Yeah, but without merit, there's nothing. That tells you there's something to build upon. But we also need to remember the league doesn't start in December. And I think too many fans claim they're ruthless, but they love to bury their heads in the sand. Arsenal fans, I think they love to bury their heads in the sands to the truth. They love to work in extremes and fail to understand two truths can live. As much as they think they have high standards, they haven't, because Ceballos was doing a couple spinneroonies, people whoring themselves out. El Nene just has to say boo, and he's an amazing guy. We do this Disney Land channel thing, this Comorant, this Mighty Ducks thing. People start falling in love with guys. I don't know who's slagging off the players, and also Arnold. I'm not in charge in selling players. I'm not slagging off anyone. I'm just giving my opinion, and also I very much doubt that I'm in charge of selling players, and I'm very much doubt that if Roma wanted Xhaka, I very much doubt they're listening to AFTV calling Xhaka shit or things like that. So I don't know who. Maybe someone in the chat was talking nonsense, but I don't know what you're trying to. That doesn't help anyone. Do you really think somebody's looking at buying Kolasinac and thinking, let's go on Deluded Gooner's YouTube account? He says Kolasinac isn't good. Don't work like that, man. I mean, might be Giroud 2.0. Every club has toxic supporters. Exactly. But I'm speaking directly about Arsenal because, no other team is relevant at this moment in time to what I'm saying. And, 600 people locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. I'm very appreciative, people. I don't know why you lot are so interested today, but one love none the least, people. Just make sure we're hitting that like button and the rest of it. We're at 292 people. We are flirting, absolutely flirting with 300. If you know in your heart you ain't hit the like button, there's an issue. Start a fantasy league this year, DG. We're going to have that. We had it last year. Just bear with me. The week of the season starting, the couple of days for it starts, you'll see them things take shape, man. High pressing doesn't work with a 4-2-3-1. I think it does. It's just how you do it and the personnel you have. But fair play. Yeah, Partey was badding it up. I said that in my watch along, man. I meant said watch along in my review of the game last night. Go and check that one out. And there's timestamps of my last live stream. Bro, it's the attitudes towards defending. Like, too many people are happy just to, because there was even a time under Arteta we looked like we could press properly. Remember when it weren't his first games, but do you remember there was Chelsea versus Arsenal, Chelsea, and United almost back to back, and we beat United and we was beating Chelsea, and I think ironically Tammy and Mount scored. We messed it up in the last 15 or so minutes. After them two games, we started pressing, but it seemed like, all right, cool, I'm a striker. This is the area I'm told to press. I've done it now. I'm not pressing no more. Where you look at other teams, I don't know. Let's throw an example. Gab Jesus, he might be a striker, but he's seen that something's happening and he's in a left back position, pressing it down, just making sure it's done, or just feeling. He sees his fullbacks out of position and he's a striker, but just filling in there. It's like, this is what I mean by street smartness. There's a lot that Arteta has to address and arrest, but the players as well. And I think a lot of this, you can't teach it. You can teach it to these Sackers and these guys that are coming in the game and Balligans and things. A lot of these players have been around the block, been around the block. And there's just some things, if you don't learn, you'll never learn, man. Man said sign Ronaldo. Why not, man? Oh, and read dust off his old boots while we're there as well, man. Lacazette works hard. Lacazette, even yesterday, Lacazette puts in a shift. But again, like Martinelli as well. But as we keep, even when Alexis was here, that's dead when it's only one man. Yeah, as a fan, it's work rate and things like that. I see that as wasting energy because what are you going to do logically if somebody's pressing? If you've got 4 defenders and a goalie and it's one man pressing, one striker pressing, you're just going to pass. If you're competent, you're just going to pass around him, right? And it's all going to look like Ox. Remember when we're losing 10-2 and Ox is putting his hands up in the air against Bayern Munich, where if one man goes, the next man goes, and then the third man might go, or he might say, oh, the midfielder's gone, let me fill in. I filled in this spot, so you fill in for me, etc., etc. This is where the players need to address themselves, sort of thing. We ain't got street smartness. And I look around it. Some of you have played enough games for your country. You've played a long time in football. You're not newcomers, The young guys are looking like the more experienced. And especially as much as I sit here and I talk about ability, temperament as well, it's the young guys that will make a mistake. Their head is still up. Look at Lokonga, whether you want to say it or not. El Nene, heads are going to drop. Certain other players, people are going to start feeling sorry for themselves. People are going to start downing tools. People are simply just going to give up. And the problem is, the young players ain't got no scope to be young. Because if they're not having good games, people are not going to care. Because it's sad and it's good to them. But Smith Rowe and Saka, for example, whether we win or lose is too correlated to them playing well when we shouldn't even be in that. When's it going to end, DG? I don't know, man. You might have to build up at Elskin and whatnot, man, and see what happens by the end of that. Football's harsh, man. Very harsh game. Yeah, man, that's the biggest thing. It was done for charity. Big up people, Big up the charity is the one good thing in it. Like that, the money's going to charity for the game yesterday. But boy, isolated to the game is tired, man. This is it. But half the teams, bro, there's teams in the championship. There's teams in the Premier League that we finished ahead of that are more street smart with these things, And I don't know, man. Like, are the players inspired by Arteta to take to it? Because I look at Leeds. Them man, they're inspired by what Bielsa is doing. The way Bamford talks about striking under Bielsa is different. He talks about he gave an interview on Sky Sports the other day. Like, he spoke about the pressing, what's demanded. I don't really hear man at Arsenal speak about that. It's very vague when we speak about stuff. Like, he tells us where we need to be and all of this sort of stuff. I don't really see if the players are in love with this thing like that. Everyone's the problem. Arteta's the manager. The players have a part to play in the problem. Arteta has a part to play in the problem. The club has a part to play in the problem. We win, lose, and draw together. What I hate is when we win, it's all Arteta. When we lose, it's never Arteta. Or when you can't praise and critique everybody. You got to praise and critique fairly. It's Arteta's job to solve it. It's the players' jobs to solve it. Of course, with the Kroenkes and historical owners, it's always going to be mediocre at this football club. But we win, lose, or draw together. When we're winning, you can't give the manager all the plaudits and not the players. And when we lose, you can't just get onto the players and not draw out the manager. That's what agendas is about. Are we doing an Arsenal thing? Is it Arsenal FC or is it Arteta FC or Aubameyang FC or Lacazette FC or whatever? Two truths can live in the same realm. I think football fans struggle to understand that. Really struggle to understand that. But moving away, do you think preseason will teach Arteta to better manage his subs? Seeing halftime subs might let him see that 80-minute subs aren't it. Also taking off injured players early after seeing this Partey scare. I hope so. I just hope he's learned his lessons from last year, whatever that may be. Hey. The wickedest thing, we weren't terrible, Alexander. I think we gave as good as we got. We're in the game for the large portions, but the finer margins, which is going to cost you, went against us. And I don't know about anyone else, but is anyone not bored of like last year? We could have won, but VAR or up until the 10th minute when VAR was involved, something happened, or if we didn't start slow, we could have won. I'm tired of that. It's a 90-minute game. I'm tired of starting slow and finishing strong, and the vice versa of that. It's a 90-minute game, and I just think because people fail to understand that multiple truths can live in the same realm, people console themselves with the fact of, oh, we played well after we conceded. VAR was the problem. Just like yesterday, I think Joe Willock's was a goal, but people are going to focus on, yeah, it was 2-2 if Joe Willock's goal stands. People are going to say, oh, but what about those mistakes and all of these sort of things, where they're not, very few people are going to look at it on the grand scheme of things and saying, yeah, we should have had a goal. You know, yeah, there was some positives, yeah, there was some negatives, but there's also this and there's that and there's this and there's that. And I think fans struggle to have that, really struggle to have that. And it's quite frankly, it's jarring. Let's aim for 400 likes and we're good people. How are we? And we need to get to, where are we now? 3, 4, 6. All right, you know what? We have a decent chance of doing it. Why not, man? Keep running up that one, people. I'm hearing we bidded for Asensio. I don't know. I haven't seen any of that, but we're just trying to get anyone at this point, innit? Bloody hell. The baller, but pardon me. DG, which you prefer, street smart players or tactically smart coach? But the blend would be ideal for Arsenal. I think you'll find the blend. I don't think it's either or. You know, you can be as a street smart of a manager, but if you ain't got street smart players, it's a myth. So I think it has to be hand in hand. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Arteta banged on about pre-season all season. Do you think the message has got through to the players? Evidently not if they're performing like this. But I also have to say, what are we doing in training? Are we really trying to learn from these mistakes? Because we're doing the same thing again and again and again and again and expecting different results. It don't make sense. It really doesn't make sense, does it? You know, it really doesn't. Appreciate you. Enjoy your show from Melbourne, Australia. You always talk sense. I mean, for every you talk sense, you get told that you got a befitting name. So I don't know for that, but I appreciate that, my guy, man. Chris, sober in truth, I detect. At the end of the day, we continuously make basic errors. Half of our squad aren't interested in learning and improving, and our manager isn't able to improve them. Need a massive overhaul and a new manager. Boy, I just hope the players can prove us all wrong. And the manager, I hope they all can, because everybody's up for debate. You know, there's no hiding place. The only people that I care about at Arsenal right now is Kieran Tierney, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel, and a couple of people of that ilk. Of course, anyone that represents Arsenal Football Club, you have my support. But some of you really, you ain't earned it. And for me, I'm looking at you lot. Anyone who's not with this thing until December, for me, I know it's a 38-game period, but from August to December, sink or swim. This is what we need, man. Hey, Risto Ronaldo. I hope that's my guy. You know, shout to him. DG, surely it's time to revamp the team now, brother. Bro, it's been time, bro. It's been time. It's been time. You know, it's been time. I don't know how to answer that question. It's been time, bro. Need to. Good question. The best managers create systems out of the material they have, sometimes forcing holes into square pegs results in confused performances. And that's the thing, you know, Arteta was getting a tune out of a lot of players, a lot of duds, really and truly, when he initially came in. Maybe that was the new manager buzz or whatever, and we were able to carry that to win the FA Cup. But I think something collectively with this football club, with the manager and certain relationships, with just everything, something has to have changed between winning that FA Cup and the not start of the new season, because it's like he did a 180, 360. I'm poor at maths, so whatever a full circle is and that, like one of them ones. Bro, for me, there's no hiding place, bro. August to December, that's all I'm focused on. If I'm the manager or the player, I need to be realistically in a chance of coming out that new year in and amongst the top four. Yeah, we're going to drop points. Other teams are going to drop points. But like I said, in and among the pack. So if Aubameyang's not at it, Arteta's not at it, Saka's not at it, Martinelli's not at it, anyone who's not with this thing, we can't carry people. Anyone, young, old, whatever. Bro, Wenger was a magician in sub. He had a lot wrong, but he was a magician, man. Oh, I don't know what happened to Torreira, man, because Longberg weren't feeling you. You know, Arteta was feeling you and then rubbed you out. Same goes for Emre. Emre, you know, you was doing your ball winning midfield / DM thing, and then, you know, he tried to make you a number 10. I don't know what happens, man. I really don't know what happened there. Inability, I believe in Torreira. Commitment levels and them things, all he's been doing all year saying, I want to leave. So F off with all regards, man. Like I said, we ain't got time to carry passengers. The ones that want to be here, bro, anyone that's not serious about that mission until December, you know what needs to happen. It's as simple as that. Like, to be fair, it looks like there's a role for him versus at Arsenal. To be fair, Xhaka was okay for Arsenal by Xhaka standards last year. And as much as us finishing 8th, is he my cup of tea starting in the midfield? No. We've got to switch to a midfield of Lokonga, Willock, and Xhaka. Who's cutting onions, man? That's shit. Pardon my language. I love Lokonga. I like Joe, and I don't think Xhaka's bad, but I can't feel it, my guy, man. It's crazy, man. Man said, what did we all do wrong in our past life? Are we all past killers? Why do we deserve this pain as Arsenal fans? Bro, it's Kroenke, ain't it? That's harsh. I think the players know Arteta's not levels and play accordingly. But you see, I think that's a cop out because for me, I'm still playing for. It's my rep, bro. Man, guys are not gonna see what I feel about Arteta. It's my name on the back of my shirt. If I'm playing, I don't want fans calling me shit. I don't want them saying that. I want to be like Teeny and them ones where they say, you know what, you man are duds. Teeny is cool. You know, I'm not gonna play rubbish just because I don't rate the manager. I know there's people like that, but I am putting. Every time I go on the field, it's my legacy, it's my reputation, it's just how people perceive me. That's there. You know. At least look like you're shining. I do agree though, and I do think, you know, certain people are going to learn it the tough way, and that there's a lot of half of these club players now. Anytime a new manager's come into this football club, oh, he's telling us what we need to do, this and that. We have that managerial bounce we're speaking about. We start moving mad, winning some games we might not, and then they start reverting to type, and then you start hearing the same old stuff coming out. The players are down in tools, the players not happy, this, that, and the third. It's crazy. And I think Arteta, you know, the one thing is the dressing room. He's clearly not getting rid of Xhaka and Bellerin for the dressing room, allegedly for the dressing room as well. We heard they're massive characters. Personally, I think it's time to build a new character and a new mentality and new leaders of the side and all these things. But it's just how I feel, man. Xhaka needs to improve now that he's staying. Yeah. PG, would you rather Latour Martinez and Odegaard or Abraham / Madison? Oh, Martinez / Odegaard. Biggest issue is Leno. I think Leno is a problem in that I don't think he's levels like that. But nah, I don't think Leno's the biggest problem. I think if you fix up every area of this football team, you can get away for at least a season with Leno. I think Leno can be part of a team trying to get top 4 as much as I don't really rate him. So I think that's harsh, man. There's bigger problems, man. What tactical change do you feel is most important to us now, bro? Whatever addressing our midfield, just looking a bit more solid. Because you look at Arsenal's midfield, what are we about? We don't defend well. We don't attack well. We can't. There's not technicians dictating the tempo of the game. Yeah, man, the midfield. And for me, what's even more frustrating is the manager was a midfielder. The technical director was a midfielder. To be fair, Chris, Xhaka's not the deepest midfielder more time again. And I think Arteta's actually made Xhaka's deficiencies look a bit better as much as he can, if I'm completely honest, man. How are we going into another season with Xhaka and Bellerin in the starting 11? I don't think Bellerin will be in the starting 11 for what it's worth, but Xhaka probably will. We'll just have to see what the season has in store for us, folks. We'll just have to see what it has in store for us. We lost against the champions of Europe in a pre-season friendly. It's not the end of the world. Technically, should have been a draw. Technically, there's no VAR, so it's not a draw. There's none of that. There's none of that. It's not. We lost to the European champions. You're right. Second half, it was anything but the European champions. They're wearing a Chelsea shirt. It's not the end of the world, but it's another picture that has been painted of our pre-season. And when you add that together with Watford, whether we've won or drawn or whatever, with the mistakes against Watford, with the mistakes against Chelsea, with the goal we conceded against Millwall, with the way we conceded them goals against Scotland, it might still not be the end of the world. But if somebody is telling me how vital pre-season is, I'm not seeing these things improved. How can I naively stumble across Brentford and expect things to get better, like a lot of you are gonna do? There's no technically it should have been a draw, because if you want to look at it, Pepe's probably offside in the build-up play, and there's no VAR. You can say in the Prem there might be VAR, but there's no VAR. There's no ifs, buts, and maybes and things like that. There's no draw. We lost 2-1. Like, it's the same thing where we rather than focus on the variables we can control. Should it have been a goal? Yes, we cannot control incompetent refs. I know it's frustrating, but there was many things we could have done without Joe scoring or not scoring to do better. Aubameyang had a good chance. We didn't really create too much in the first half. Why is that? You know, let's stop doing the blame game that we do at this football club and look at the variables we can address and what we can arrest. Anyone that's played football, you're told play to the referee, play to the whistle, and on them things there, man. It's crazy, man. Trust me, an L is an L, bro. Set pieces, playing out from the back, individual mistakes. Then, bro, I said it yesterday. I couldn't. I was sat next to this guy. I'll see it. Bro, who's number 6? Is it Aspilicueta with new hair? Is he going with Alonso through the middle? I was thinking, who is that? Is that a new signing? He's jogged past me now. It says Drinkwater. I'm like, swear down, you are still in it. You are still getting paid by Chelsea. You are contracted to Chelsea. I salute you for that. I don't know how you finessed it, but it's like it's a madness. Zappa Costa, fair enough, he's there in it. But yeah, man. Man said AFTV will be lit. But man, love the isolated moments thing, bro. Why are people still considering Abraham? Didn't they watch the last game? To be fair, he should have had an assist and he tried to shoot and he made Leno pull off a good save. But yeah, man. Just wish we could address the spine of this team, bro. Sure, DG, that's gonna be Arteta's excuse. We had no preseason because we didn't go to the States. Guaranteed, man. John, like, man. Man said, Andrew Britton, you're a plastic fan, leave DG alone. No clue what this Andrew brother said, but you know, I'm pretty sure he said something unnice and unwise. Come on, man. Andrew, if you're in the UK, it's a nice day out there, man. Take your kids out, go and get some fresh air. Stop talking nonsense, man. In fact, don't go out because your wife's probably gonna invite the plumber around, and you know what the plumber balls on. What else have we got? Our defensive shape in possession is a joke. One through ball is long, bro. How many signings do you think we'll make? I don't know, my guy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what we're trying to do, my guy. I don't know, man. I'd hope 2, 3. I don't know, man. Time is ticking. I really don't know, bro. I don't think Leno is good enough. He causes panic from the back, in my opinion. We should address the keeper and right back like Liverpool did. You're not wrong. But I just think, I agree 100%. If it's up to me, I get a new goalie. But I just feel there's more pressure. I think I agree with you. But if you could give me a right back, a centre mid, I'd say cool, innit? Cool. I can work with that. If you give me a goalie and a right back and not a centre mid, or if you give me a goalie and a centre mid and not a right back, I'm gonna be more angrier purely because I think Leno is better than Leno is better at his job than I feel certain midfielders are at their job in midfield, and definitely with right backs. And it's not even a Callum Chambers or Maitland-Niles thing. I think they could do a job. I just don't know what I'm getting for 38 games, and I'd rather sign someone who is a right back. I'm personally tired of the love dramas and them things there. Man said, sorry if you mentioned it earlier, DG, but if Arsenal re-sign Xhaka and Bellerin, Arteta has to sack himself. Chris Clive has said, good comment. As a fan base, we constantly moan and make excuses. There have been times in history where we cups by solely looking in the mirror. That's exactly what players / Arteta need to do. Be better together. Facts, Clive. This is it. This is what I try to articulate. This is what I'm saying. Look, as long as you can go to bed, look yourself in the mirror, brush your teeth and go to bed knowing you've tried your hardest for this football club and you've applied yourself. That's all I'm asking. But I don't think, if they're honest with themselves, I don't think they can say that, bro. That's what it's about. Like, there's so many variables we need to arrest ourselves and we don't arrest them. Quite mad. Need more solidarity. Mentality is so key at these levels. Everyone in Arsenal are on different pages. Lack of personality. I think it boils down to upbringings. To be fair, I do think they have mentality. I do think they have belief. It's just not what we want to see. Does Hector care what he does on the pitch? I mean, let's be real. Of course, the players care in it. It's just their shit. Like, certain men are not good. Deep down, Arteta knows he's not going to last. Harsh. Holding Marie El Nene was slow and caught out of position often yesterday. Shouldn't be in the team. Realistically, we need a goalkeeper, right back, Cam, and a forward because Aubameyang might be finished. Onana is out there, bro. We need him. Don't let desperation gas you. Like, I like Onana, but I'm not really convinced. I know he playing out from the back. I see it, and I think he's decent. But I very rarely get convinced with the keepers, man. These keepers are beaky, man. A man said, I'm a plumber. Can I get an invite to her gaff? See, Messi players been moving Messi with your girl, Andrew, man. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Nah, man. I'm not gonna. I don't think he. I don't think he does not care. I don't think any player goes out there and they just don't care. They're just duds in it. They're just duds. They're just not levels, man. You lot are saying check Balogun's post. I hope you lot aren't waffling over nothing, you know. This is what you lot. Come on, man. Insta or Twitter. 'Cause this is what you lot made me come to, bro. Like, you lot making me think there's some Mazzolini going on. Man's just put up that face and said he's focused, bro. What the hell? But you lot read too much into certain things. You should. I want him to be annoyed that he's not in the team. You should be. That's what I want to see. But I mean, come on now. And even if he did, was up in arms and all of those sort of things. You know, calm it down, Balogun. You ain't done nothing at this football club yet. As much as you might be right or wrong, bro. Man are waffling, bro. It's his latest post. I'm looking for the guy's Instagram, man. Nah, I think William cares. I just think he's shit. Bro, man, I'm sweating. Trust me. What's going on, man? Anyways, moving away from that, man. Oh, man, just put up a picture sweating, bro. What's going on? Please stop spamming. You're just going to end up getting blocked. Big up Ben White. Would love to see him and Gabriel be our starting partnership. Arsenal to slap Brentford. I hope so, bro. Yo, man, just sweat. I can't believe it, man. They're saying something's happening when Donny is sweating. Absolute bazar. But anyways, man, it is what it is. Where we at for likes, though? Where we at for likes? Oh, 395. We're flirting with 400 people. We're flirting. It's true, Emmanuel. Listen, I don't know where he said he specifically wants to go back to Chelsea, but I'm not gonna fight you lot for if William cares or not care. There's a bag of things to care about, man. And William's not one of them. Bro, if we're going to get Martin Odegaard, it needs to be wrapped up within the next week or two. Real Madrid want to sell and we need him. I can understand if the Madison one goes on longer. I mean, Madison, Odegaard, Lautaro Martinez, boy. Let's see what happens come the end of the window, man. Liquid passion. Lacazette scored more than Gab Jesus and Werner last season. Luke, forgive me, I don't know where you're at, but I'm not understanding of the point, and neither are two. You know, to be fair to you, if you're a top striker or want to be, that's not the company you want to be around, really, because Gab Jesus hasn't shown he's clinical. Werner has shown he's anything but somehow managed to not score yesterday. So I'm not sure what you're trying to get at there or what you're meaning there, but all right, maybe you're talking to someone in the chat. I don't know. But I don't. It must be some accomplishment because Gab Jesus is a fringe player at City, if that, and Werner just can't score. Nah, Nick Pope's a good shot stopper playing out from the back. He's probably worse than what we have. So what's the point, man? Like the keepers, I think are levels. You actually have to scout a keeper or pay big money for them. And pardon me, we ain't got the bands for these sort of elite keepers. So, bro, what now, man? Leno is the only player that starts that can't be dropped. We need the goalkeeper position sorted this ASAP. Since Emmy left, it's been downhill. It's been downhill even when he was here, if we're honest. It is what it is, man. Would you take Dean Henderson, DG? I actually like him, so I would, you know. Well, the Raya guy, I don't think much of him, but we did want him, so why not, man? I think Oba, well, to Stegen. Where's the stake? Someone's comments gone. That's deep. I think Oba is going to turn up this season. Someone said Aubameyang is done, bro. You see that missed header and the last chance he had was so woeful. I mean, he just got to learn to prove guys wrong, I guess, man. Pardon me. If Arteta don't leave, he will never get better. Look, and we will see Arteta is a yes man, says Chris from Mobay. I hear that, man. I hear that. I really do hear that. But we've been here an hour and a half, people. I'm gonna have to love and leave you guys, though, folks. It's time for me to get something to eat and head to the gym. And if there's anything of significance with the transfer stuff, I'll be back. But other than that, I might be back tomorrow. Well, I will be back tomorrow at 11:30. So yeah, please make sure you're hitting the like button on all of these sort of things. Let me see what last couple questions, man. Look at this guy. Big up yourself, mate. What do you think about suck your mum? You tried to be smart. Come on now. The last one gives it away. Like warehouse team. Suck your mum and tell her to suck her mum and your grandma. Suck your dad. Suck her dad for trying to, do that thing to me. Come on now, man. Fix up. Allure and stature aside, who would be your best party partner, DG, just for curiosity? Our for me, man. Think it'd be really good. Out of all the existing options that are in that first team right now, you might as well just throw in Lokonga and him and see what can happen, really. I don't want to care about signings. I want good coaching and hope that the board do due diligence when it comes to signings. Mo, 100%. 100%. Go one more time. We might as well spin that still. We might as well spin. I can't believe it, bro. Man, the urinator bit gave it away. And the good thing about me, I don't pretend to know ballers. So when I'm seeing he's saying a footballer called Urinator that plays for at centre back for Spartak Moscow, you're moving mad. Like, come on now. More so, I've gone off the Zachariah hype train. More so, Frank Kessier ahead of Zachariah. If you're asking me which one I'd rather. Please stop spamming, bro. I've read it out. Unfortunately, I've got to block you now. 3 positions we need to prioritize this window: centre back, centre midfield. Sorry, Cam. Now that you've signed a centre half, and for me, probably a right back. But you've got to consider striker as well. But you've got to fix up these pressing areas and things like that, man. Lacazette, bro. Lacazette is scoring more than people that are not notoriously known for scoring. How many penalties did Rashford knock in? Firmino is not known for bagging, my guy. And to be fair with you, I like Lacazette, but he's not shown he's a 20 league goal man. I hope next year is the year for him to do it. It would be quite typical because it's a year left on his deal. But come on now, man, we're capping now. So yeah, man, on that note, like I said, I'm going to love and leave you lot. Hit the like button if you haven't. I'm pretty sure that we've hit 400 likes and things like that. So once again, appreciate that, people. Without you lot, it can't be done. And we're actually at 420. Ooh, what a good number. 421 now. So shout out to you. Shout out to all the newly crowned Twitch moderators and things like that. Yeah, man, I'll love and leave you lot and be back here soon, innit, people, man. So yeah, I'm out. Yeah, all right, cool. If he didn't take penalties, he's still not a notorious goal scorer. You sure Rashford never took no penalties? But on that note, though, I'm out, man. And like I said, man, we've got terrible penalty. We've got terrible fullbacks at our club. We've got decent ones somewhere, bro.
Against this right back, Charlie.